Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, and this morning we're doing a Facebook Live, and it should also be on YouTube at some point too, so look for that. Let me just load it up here. I got something cool to share with you about something that I found that can be one of the root causes of anxiety and also of autoimmune and chronic conditions. And it's something that we found, Jen and I, back in 2011. So I want to share that with you in just a moment. Let me make sure this is all up and running. So welcome. It's Monday morning here in the Pacific Northwest. I love the night, the cloudy, drizzly weather. It's kind of funny. Let me put this as a root cause of anxiety and autoimmune. Okay, so here we go. All right, so welcome, Ralph Havens here. And this morning, what I wanted to talk about was there was back in 2011, Jen and I and Ben moved up here to the Pacific Northwest, and it took us a few months to get up here to find our way to our home. And now we're up here in the upper left corner of the United States. I think it's this way on your screen. And before that, we didn't realize something was going on that was affecting us. And so we found it in a funny way. You know, we were traveling a lot, and we had an iPhone. And before that, we had an iPad and an iPhone, and everything was wireless at the house, and it was all hooked up to my stereo. And I loved that stuff. I love technology. And in my office, I had 2 different wireless networks, because one was for the encrypted electronic medical records, and one was for a regular one. And of course, when you load up the computer and look at all the wireless networks, there was like 20, 30 networks sitting there within a short distance of our computer back in the city in San Diego. And I didn't think much of it. And so there we were traveling through the Pacific Northwest looking for where to live. And Jen was in the back and Ben was back there. And she was on the phone a lot, of course, you know, directions and checking Facebook and talking to our relatives and that sort of thing. And so then we pulled into a place up here that was our place to stay for 1 month while we looked around and got our spot. And, you know, years before that, I had solved the anxiety thing and lots of health concerns. My teeth got well, no longer had cavities. The anxiety was gone. What else was gone? My running was back after quite a few months of not being able to run, because I did a lot of work to fix up, to shift things around my heart and my blood vessels. So I was doing pretty well and worked on a lot of my own stuff, you know, different rage and anger things and anxiety things. And it was like that stuff was way past me. And so there we were, and we just wanted to rest in this 1 month place and look around and find out where we were going to live. And so all of a sudden, Jen and I started waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and fully anxious, and also lots of rage, and just like all the stuff that we had both worked on all these years and solved seemed to be coming back. It's like, what is going on? We didn't feel stressed, but it was sure feeling stressed in our bodies. And so we were up in Bellingham, and in Bellingham, you can't turn without hitting some type of energy worker or a snowboarder or a mountain biker or a runner. It's just an incredible town. So I went to get my hair cut from this lady that is really good about doing clean, clean, green ways of using stuff. She doesn't use a lot of chemicals. And she asked me what I did. So I told her what I did for a living. And she goes, oh, then I can ask you, what's up with your right kidney? And you need to get off of Wi-Fi, man. And she could see it in my eyes. You know, there's a type of therapy where you can look in someone's eyes and see what's going on with them medically. And so she spotted that. And I had been working on my right kidney, wondering why I had so much stuff going on there. The right kidney is one of the home bases for anxiety. And also fear. so I was like, wow, how did you know that? And so she told me that, and we went back to our place and we looked under the bed, and there was a Wi-Fi kind of device that was emitting stuff to the stereo sound system in that room. So we were sleeping on top of a device that was emitting electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs, kind of like Wi-Fi. And so I was like, oh my God. So we turned that off, or actually we left and moved it to other place. And then we ended up just going with a hardwire connection there. And it took us a few weeks, and we got rid of our iPhone and just went to a flip phone. And now we have an iPhone, but we leave it off all the time. And what we remembered was way back in San Diego, when Ben was born, he loved to be in the second room, our office of our house. And we had all this electronics. It's where our Wi-Fi was, our wireless printer. We had our iPads and all sorts of stuff there. And he would just go ballistic when we pulled him away. And we thought, oh, he just really likes it, you know, but he would be inconsolable. Like, just couldn't talk sense to him, couldn't console him, couldn't comfort him. He was just awful, just felt awful in his own skin. And so then we realized, as we did the research, that Wi-Fi and cell phones have been a very big experiment, you know? They didn't do a lot of safety studies, and they've done no safety studies on the new 5G that's coming out. And the safety studies they did back when cell phones were first coming out and Wi-Fi, they quit doing them. Although some people kept doing them, but the big agencies quit doing them because they really wanted this Wi-Fi and cell phone technology. But it was really showing up as quite harmful. Some of the really bad conditions are related to that. And what they found was it weakens and destroys the blood-brain barrier in the brain. And children especially are susceptible because they have a thinner bone structure. So it goes right in, and then toxins and pharmaceuticals and other things can cross the blood-brain barrier that shouldn't be crossing it. And the result is stuff like OCD, you know, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety, attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, lots of stuff. And they're showing that it's connected to lots of health concerns. We had people that we told this to, some of my clients, that solved chronic GI complaints, belly complaints, things that were very serious. And so what you might want to do is just check around and see, you know, is your cell phone always in your back pocket? Are you always on it? Is it right up to your head a lot of the day? Is it connected to Bluetooth and you've got a car that's got smart technology in it? Are you bathed in EMFs? And so, you know, it's like, okay, how do you change that, right? But you might want to start to look at that and minimize some of the ways you do it. You know, turning off your router at night, maybe going to a hardwire connection in the house and only turning on Wi-Fi when you absolutely need it, keeping your cell phones off or airplane mode, or, you know, at least a few feet away from you. So, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. There's so many things that could be root causes of an anxiety condition or an autoimmune condition or any kind of chronic condition, any condition at all. And if you want more of that sort of thing, I wrote it down into a PDF that I think I called it 17 or 18 things, 17 things to do to get healthy. And looking at the Wi-Fi cell phone thing is one of them. So there's a bunch of other things. And if you're interested in that, you can go to autoimmuneanswers.com and just enter your email, and you'll get an email right away that has the PDF download. So welcome to the session, and let me know what you think. Let me know how you're going with your Wi-Fi and cell phone stuff. And all right, I'll see you all tomorrow. Ralph Havens signing off.